and welcome to the Winning Daily Weekend Soccer Show, or football show for you in Europe. But since we have a American football show, we're going to just stick with our weekend soccer show. We got a lot of action this weekend, coming off the Champions League. We're loaded and bare to get all our best bets of the weekends. Couple really entertaining games as well. A couple that I wanted to bet on, but I couldn't find really an angle to bet on, but some really good games. So let's start into the Premier League, and let's start off with Tottenham versus Bournemouth here. Tottenham going on the road. They've really had trouble on the road this season. They've been great at home, and all of a sudden they aren't all that great at home either. It's been a bad couple of weeks for Tottenham. They didn't play well again in the Champions League at home versus Sporting. They're going to have to fight for their lives next week versus Marseille, going to Marseille. But first, they got this weekend's game versus Bournemouth. They're going to Bournemouth. Bournemouth was playing well, but the last couple matches they've been down. Let's see if that continues. We're going to stick with our Tottenham. We've been hot in soccer, but the one team that continues to seem to lose us money is Tottenham. I look for him to get it together this week. Let's see if they come out and just try to dominate the ball a little bit. Bournemouth is going to hand them the ball. Let's see if they get a little more aggressive and not so defensive, especially versus Bournemouth team. I understand it versus the top teams where you want to counter, and that works great, but for Bournemouth, you should just be on this front foot and be more aggressive versus them and utilize, Kane and Son being able to dominate the game up front and score you some goals. So let's see if that can happen. So we're going to take Tottenham minus the 1.5 plus 190 to start out the Saturday. Next up, we're going to Brentford versus Wolves. Wolves has announced that they won't hire a coach until after the World Cup, break. They looked horrible last week, so we're going to play on that. I know Brentford played really bad last week versus Aston Villa, but they've been really solid at home, and they've gotten some really good results here. So we're going to play on that, and we're going to take, Brentford plus the 115 at home on the three-way, and then we're going to do some scoring props here. We're going to take anytime goal scorer Ivan Toney plus 145, and we're going to take Mbeumo, Brian Mbeumo, anytime goal scorer plus 310. He's scored versus the Wolves a couple times in play before, so let's see if he can mimic that, get on the wing and get some goals here at plus 310. All right. Now, we're going to do a couple complicated ones. I couldn't find a way to round robin this, so basically I'm going to have to round robin it myself. So we're going Ivan Toney first goal scored, Ivan Toney last goal scored in a two-leg same-game parlay. All these are going to be two-leg same-game parlays. We're going Ivan Toney first to score, Mbeumo last to score. We're going Mbeumo first to score, Ivan Toney last to score, Mbeumo first to score, Mbeumo last to score, and finally we're going anytime goal scorer Toney and Mbeumo. So we got 141.17 on Toney. We got 52.77 on Toney Mbeumo. We got 51.44 on Mbeumo Toney, and we got 31.72 on Mbeumo. And lastly, plus 705 on the anytime goal scorers, Toney and Mbeumo. So we're big on this one. Let's see if Brentford can get it done. Certainly look for the shutout here versus Wolves. If you want to go Brentford to win 0, you can do that, but there's not much value in it because Wolves never scores goals. Adama Traore's been a little lively of late. He scored 2 weeks ago. He's about the only thing offensively that they have. So his number was really low in the anytime goal scorers. I almost put it in here, but I just decided not to. But if you want to take a long shot on that one as well, go for it, because he looks to be the only one creating offense right now for Wolves. All right, let's go to Brighton and Chelsea. And if you look at this matchup, it has been a low-scoring affair, mostly because both these teams just sort of do the same thing. And the coach is the coach formerly of Brighton, who is of Chelsea. And I just look for a lot of control and passing in the middle of the park, and not much created chances on either one, and not many guys who could finish on either one. So let's go with a couple totals here. We're going under the half goal at plus 950, under the 1.5 at plus 240, and under the 2.5 for minus 120. We're going to throw a couple correct score props in there as well. 0-0 at 11 to 1, 1-1 at plus 500, 1-0 for Brighton at plus 650. 1-0 for Chelsea at plus 800. So we're covering all our bases here in this one. We think this will be a low-scoring affair. If you look at everyone, it's always 0-0. It's 1-0. There might be a 2-0 in there, but it's 1-0, 1-0, 0-0, 0-0. These two teams just control the ball in the middle of the park. They do similar things even before, Graham Potter went over there, and Tuchel, it was similar tactics of control the ball, create chances, but not aggressive chances because neither team has a finisher here. So just look for this in low scoring. We're going to play it. If we can get that low scoring game, we can really, really cash in on that one. So we're going Brighton, Chelsea, under the half, under 1.5, under 2.5, and we're going correct score 0-0, 1-1, 1-0, and 0-1. All right, we're going to flip things around and do the opposite thing on Newcastle and Aston Villa. First off, we're going to take Newcastle minus the 130. Nice to see Aston Villa finally work themselves into the season. 4 goals after the coach was fired last week. So I don't know what to do, but I feel like this is going to be a high-scoring game. You look at the past, it hasn't been that high-scoring a game, but I'm going to give it a shot here and go with the high-scoring game. So we're going to go Newcastle minus 130 on the three-way and cover all our bets here, see if Newcastle can get this win versus Villa. We're going to go with Miguel Almiron, anytime goal scorer at 240. He's been on fire. Look for him to attack Villa off that wing and get another goal. We're going to ride the hot streak here. Plus 240, really, really good value for a guy who's been on fire scoring goals right now. So we're going to use those two to try to cover these bets, and hopefully we can get that high-scoring game and then win some, real money here. So we're going team total goals here. Aston Villa over 1.5 total goals plus 245. Newcastle over 2.5 total goals plus 285. And Newcastle over 3.5 total goals plus 800 on that one. And then just overall, the total goals, not team total goals for the match. We're going over 3.5 plus 230, over 4.5 plus 550 on that one. And then we're going to do a couple correct scores on this one. 3-1 Newcastle, 3-2 Newcastle, 4-1 Newcastle, 4-2 Newcastle. So we're going 3-1 at 14-1, 3-2 at 22-1, 4-1 at 28-1, and 4-2 at 55-1. See if we can hit one of those. See if we can get our high-scoring game. Maybe Villa's found its mojo. If you want to look at Ings and Watkins to score, though their odds have never really valued, even though they stopped scoring for a very, very long stretch there. But I really like that Miguel Almiron at plus 240 anytime goal scorer. So if you could get Newcastle to win and Miguel Almiron, the anytime goal scorer, you put your money on that, cover your bets there, and then try to hit the big ones, and cover your bases, and then maybe you make some really, really big money. All right, Sunday, only one matchup we sort of like in the Premier League. We're going Manchester United versus West Ham. Really hard to read this West Ham team. Seem to struggle to score. They've sort of found their defensive legs, but I wouldn't say they've been dynamite. Man United has played really, really well of late. Another good win during the week in the Europa League, something they could take not seriously, but they seem to have taken seriously and, put it on Sheriff Tolspool, who, has given teams problems. So, Manchester United win. Both teams score plus 230. We're going to hit that up. I think West Ham can sneak a goal here. Look for something like 2-1, 3-1 here for Manchester United, who's been really, really good at home, since about the third week of the season. All right, let's switch things over into La Liga here. On Saturday, we got a couple bets we really, really like. Almeria and Celta Vigo, both to score, minus 125. These are both teams who usually can find their way into a goal. I don't really have a favorite here. I Almeria has played really, really well, but Celta Vigo probably has the better talent, though they don't always show it. So I'm just going to play the boat to score at minus 125. We're going to take a chance here. Sevilla, minus 105. Since the coaching change, they've started to play really, really well. I know this matchup just has draw written all over it, especially since they played midweek. But I just think you're going to get a small window, much like we did last week with Inter Milan. I think you're going to get a small window here where Sevilla starts playing really, really well and starts putting 3 points consistently on the board. And you got the small window of where their odds are what they have been earlier in the year to the transition of what I think they're going to finish as. And so we're going to ride Sevilla minus 105 versus Rayo Vallecano. We're going to ride that one pretty big here. So Sevilla minus 105, Rayo Vallecano, we're going to go 500 on that one. Valencia, Barcelona. This game is always a score fest. I know disappointing for Barcelona during the week, but this is a game they need to bounce back. So both to score minus 150. Grab that now. By Saturday, I think that thing will be in the 2-to-1s. This game is always 3-2, 4-2, 4-3. Very seldom is it ever under the 3 goals mark. So we're going to play it that way, especially with Barcelona's defense still struggling. So Valencia, Barcelona, both to score minus 150. Robert Lewandowski, look for him to get major goals here. 2+ plus 250. We're going to hammer that one. And then we're going team total goals. Valencia over 1.5 plus 230. Valencia over 2.5 plus 740. Really like the value in that one. Then we're going Barcelona over the 2.5 plus 165. Over the 3.5 plus 450. Look for Barcelona's main focus now to be on La Liga and start putting big points on the board, getting big goals here. With them out of the Champions League, I think this is a chance for them to really stake their claims. So, a lot of action on that one. Next up, Sunday, Athletic Bilbao versus Villarreal. We're going to go with Athletic Bilbao, even though they were just awful versus Barcelona over the week. Pathetic. That's the worst I've seen Bilbao. Now, Bilbao is usually a different team at home than on the road. That's where we're playing it out here. Plus, we're playing off the Unai Emery. He's left the team. Villarreal was sort of not playing as well as I thought they would. Emery goes to Aston Villa here, so where does that leave Villarreal? Going on the road to Bilbao. I think that plus 110, even though Bilbao has not played great this season, I just think they can sneak a win here. Granted, this has draw all over it. If you want to sort of just protect yourself, do draw no bet on Bilbao. Even with that juice, maybe you go that way. But I'm going to take a shot here at the plus 110 with Unai Emery gone. It sort of leaves Villarreal lost here. Bilbao at home, usually a safe bet. So I'm going to ride Bilbao plus a 110. All right, let's go to the Bundesliga here. Bayern Munich versus Mainz. We're going Bayern Munich, Mainz, both to score. No draw. You can find this on DraftKings. It might be a couple other places, but DraftKings has this both to score, no draw bet. Munich Mainz plus 105. Really good value there. Mainz can usually get a couple goals on Bayern Munich. Now, they don't always win, but they usually get 1 or 2 goals on them. Munich with the lazy game during the week where they just dominated Barcelona. I think Mainz might surprise them here. Get 1 or 2 goals on them, and Munich wins 3-2, 4-2. Because they always give up goals to Munich, and Munich scores on everybody. So both to score, no draw, plus 105. If you just want to take the both to score, I think it was minus 150 or so. So pretty good value there as well. So grab that one if you're scared that Mainz might get a 2-2 draw or something like that. Definitely possible with the way Mainz has played this year, but I just don't think they could go into Munich and get a win, so I feel pretty safe with the both to score, no draw there. Biggest game of the week when Frankfurt versus Dortmund. Frankfurt continues their really, really good play, but this is a little tricky here because Frankfurt, has the huge game at Sporting midweek. If they can win that, they can progress into the knockout stages of the Champions League. That would be such a big deal for Frankfurt here. I know they've started to turn their season around and started to climb up that Bundesliga board. So this is a really, really important game too. But in hindsight, Frankfurt has a full season left after the World Cup break to sort of climb into that top four and fight for Champions League again. Moving into the knockout stages of the Champions League, I can't tell you how big that would be and how excited those fans. I look for them to travel in huge numbers to Sporting Portugal next week to try to get that win. That being said, maybe they rest some of their players. Maybe they don't go full bore versus Dortmund. So we're going to try to take this, both to score, win Dortmund. I know I love Frankfurt. I've been riding them all season long since they've sort of turned it around. But I'm just scared they sort of lazy this one out to get into the Champions League. You flip things over. Dortmund's already in the Champions League. So there's really no point in them worrying about the midweek game. They could sit everybody out. They could rest who they want. They can play who they want to get this big win at Frankfurt here. So Dortmund to win, both to score, plus 290. We're going to go Gio Reyna, anytime goal score, plus 330. He got a goal last week. He's seemingly looking to be fit. So if he's on the field, I think he can get open and create a goal scoring chance for himself versus Frankfurt. So plus 330 on that too. So good value on that one. Sunday in the Bundesliga, Union Berlin, Mönchengladbach. Gladbach's been on a bad run here after Union Berlin lost next week. Got a nice win in the Europa League. 1-0 back at home, plus 100. I know they don't seem to like Union Berlin, but they find ways to win. I look for them to get back on track here in the Bundesliga at home. Gladbach's been struggling, plus 100 on Union Berlin. I don't think you could get better value. So let's take Union Berlin, plus 100. Or that one. And then Cologne versus Hoffenheim. This is a little more of a play. Hoffenheim has been hot and cold. Same with Cologne here. Probably the same level of talent, but Cologne had to play a makeup game in the Europa League on Friday. I know it was at home, but that's still only 1 day sort of rest in between. Look for Hoffenheim to come in there fresher versus Cologne. So I thought there was a little value there. So Hoffenheim plus 120. We're going to take that on the three-way as well in the Bundesliga. All right, let's go to Serie A. We've been riding Inter Milan. Big win during the week, 4-0. Moved themselves along into the knockout stages of Champions League. I look for them to go on a big run here. Lukaku came back, looked pretty good in midweek in the Champions League. So we're going to do a two-leg same-game parlay. Inter Milan to win. Romelu Lukaku, anytime goal scorer, minus 115. We're just going to ride Inter until they cool off a bit. They're on their run now. They found their form, so let's ride it. And then we're going to move to the other Milan. Torino versus AC Milan. AC Milan's got a big game in Champions League to try to move into the knockout stages. This is a tough game to go into Torino and then play that one. I think the focus will be on that Champions League to move into the knockout stages. I think they might drop the ball here versus Torino, so I'm going to take a little action here on Torino. I know every time they step up in competition, they get lit up, but I look for a dead spot here with Milan. So Torino, draw no bet, plus 150. And then we're going to do a couple correct scores here. 1-0 Torino, 0-0 draw, 1-1 draw here. So if we get the draw no bet, we get a push on that, and then maybe we get the draw 0-0 1-1. 1-0 Torino plus 950, 0-0 draw plus 800, 1-1 draw plus 550. They think the 1-1 draw is coming as well. So not a lot of value in that 1-1 draw, but it'll cover our bets if we can hit that one. Plus, we'll, avoid the Torino bet altogether and win a little money on that. But I think Torino can step up here and sneak a win. So if you just want to take Torino on the three-way, you can go for that. They just haven't really played well enough for me to be real aggressive on them and take that juice on the three-way. We'll protect ourselves a little bit here with the draw no bet. That's the weekend in soccer. Lot of action to go over. Had a great week last week. Let's see if we can continue that momentum. Be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss any of our shows. College football show is out now. You want to check that so you can not miss any of the college football bets with Dynamite David. NFL show dropping sometime later Saturday. Want to catch all the action in there so you can catch all our NFL bets. And, of course, Winning Daily is always here daily. Be in the know to win that dough. That's our show, and we're out.